Okay, boxing heads, this is Steve Gallegos, and welcome to another podcast on TheTitleFight.com. We're going to review a very busy Saturday night in the sport of boxing. The day began in Manchester, England, with the return of former junior welterweight champion Ricky the Hitman Hatton, taking on former welterweight title holder Vyacheslav Senchenko in a 10-round bout. Hatton has been out of the ring for over 3.5 years after suffering a bad knockout loss to Manny Pacquiao in 2009. Over 20,000 loyal Hatton fans filled the MEN Arena in Manchester, cheering soccer style as they usually do. Hatton came out and fought his fight for the first 6 rounds by applying pressure and landing shots to the body and head. It appeared as though Hatton had found his niche once again as he controlled the tempo of this fight. In the 7th, it appeared the tide was turning as Senchenko was able to find some rhythm with his jab while setting up combinations. In the 9th, Hatton appeared to have regained control of this fight until Senchenko landed a vicious body shot towards the end of the round in which Hatton couldn't recover from. The referee reached a count of 10, awarding Senchenko a 10th round knockout. Give Senchenko credit for going into a hostile environment and weathering a huge storm. He has put himself back into the world title mix at 147 pounds. For Ricky Hatton, it was a huge disappointment as he was leading on all 3 judges' scorecards at the time of the knockout. He was very emotional in his post-fight interview, and you can't help but feel bad for the guy. He overcame many demons outside the ring, such as alcohol and drug abuse, and many, as well as myself, felt that he still had a lot of boxing left in him. It's too bad that his comeback fell short as he was very close to victory. Later on in the day, Hatton would once again announce his retirement. He has been training and promoting fighters, and he hopes to do more of that. He also has a very colorful personality and would make a great commentator. Whatever he decides to do, we wish him the best. Okay, let's move on to the HBO doubleheader from Ontario, California. The night began with rising junior middleweight prospect Keith Thurman taking on former champion Carlos Quintana in a 10-round bout. Quintana, with his experience in big fights, was supposed to provide a stiff test for the up-and-coming Thurman. Thurman came out in the first round with guns a-blazing and dropped Quintana with a vicious body shot in which Quintana was barely able to beat the count. Thurman would continue the onslaught for the next 3 rounds and landed hard shots to the body and head. Every shot had knockout written all over it, and he would eventually land a haymaker in the 4th round, causing referee Jack Reese to step in and stop the bout. A good win for Thurman, whose stock continues to rise with each fight. In the main event, 3-time champion and current welterweight title holder Robert the Ghost Guerrero took on former 2-time welterweight champion Andre Berto in a 12-round bout. This was a crossroads fight for Berto as he had been out of the ring for 14 months following an injury and failed drug tests which twice scrapped his rematch with Victor Ortiz. Guerrero wanted to make a statement in this fight to prove he belonged with the elite fighters at 147 pounds. In the first 2 rounds, Guerrero would make a statement as he twice sent Berto to the canvas as he began to bust up Berto's face, causing both eyes to swell. As the fight went on, Berto was able to land some good shots of his own, however they seemed to have no effect on Guerrero as he walked right through them. Guerrero continued to apply hard pressure on Berto by forcing him against the ropes while landing shots to the body and head. Fouls were being exchanged by both camps as there was rabbit punching and holding behind the head while hitting. Berto's eyes were completely shut by the time the final bell sounded, and Guerrero was awarded a 12-round decision, which already enhances his already great career. For Andre Berto, it was another huge setback for him, and he will once again have to go back to the drawing board. Now, before we go, we just want to pay tribute to the great Hector Macho Camacho, who died this past week after complications from a gunshot wound. During the 80s and 90s, Camacho won world titles in many different weight classes while showing off his swagger and bravado with huge jewelry and flashy outfits. Our prayers and thoughts go out to his family during this sad time. Rest in peace, champ. Well, that does it for this session, Fight Freaks. Until next time.